Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for creating time to be part of this great show. I don't take that support for granted. Now, ladies and gentlemen, President William Samoei Ruto is most probably passing through the most difficult time in his political career. Ever since he started politics in 1997, I don't think he has been in a situation like this before, because William Ruto built his career on a very shaky foundation of lies and hoodwinking the people. Now he has survived over the years by this cunning character, but the lies have caught up with him because generations change, but he doesn't want to change. And so, in the midst of these calls for one term, William Ruto knows very well that he has been cornered and trapped. But he's not going to go down without a fight. In fact, his only defense is that he is suffering because his only mistake is that he found himself to be a man from Rift Valley, Kipchirchir, Arap Ruto. And he says that those people who are baying for his political blood are jealous of him because he's a Kalenjin. He has continued to question whether his predecessors, especially Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta, met the same fate that he's facing today. And so today, there are dangerous videos that have leaked out, and they are haunting William Samoei Ruto, haunting State House, haunting the NIS, and haunting the deep state. Ladies and gentlemen, when William Samoei Ruto first got into office, he had a vision, or so he made people believe. And William Ruto knew very well that the fundamental principle of leadership is listening to your people. Here's William Ruto.
I feel I have a duty to the people who have sent me here, and I believe I will do everything possible within my ability to make sure that I represent them well, I speak on their behalf without fear of him. And that's exactly, I will go out of my way to make sure that I speak on their behalf.
That was William Kipchirchir Arap Ruto. Back then, a young, vibrant, and promising Kenyan, when the Eldoret North constituents gave him a chance to lead them. And he knew that the fundamental principle of leadership and governance was and is still to listen to your people. So William Ruto knew that. When Gen Zs are running around the streets and saying he's not listening to us, he knows exactly what it means. And so this idea of killing them, maiming them, kidnapping them, I don't know, because William Ruto knew very well, he himself had said it, he was going to listen to the people. As William Ruto progressed in politics, because I want to take you down memory lane, William Ruto had criticized leaders who will say one thing before elections, and after elections, they change like a chameleon and they negate all the promises that they make to people. Here's William Samoei Ruto.
But the worst kind of impunity is the impunity of deceitful leaders. Leadership that is about deceit. That they tell us one thing before the election, they completely do the opposite after the election.
That is the man in State House today. When people are saying, Mr. President, you campaigned on a golden platform. You promised a lot. Today, every little thing that you gave, every little promise that you gave to Kenyans have not matured. And when Kenyans go out there to ask you, you are now setting the police against them. Perhaps you are asking, just mention one Achando, the loans. William Ruto told us he would not take any loans. In fact, I remember them saying together with Rigathi Gachagua that when you are in a hole, you realize that you are in a hole. What do? As a wise man, you stop digging. He promised that, only to see a president who is listening to the Western machinations and has aligned himself to the IMF and the World Bank. William Ruto disbanded the SS unit, the Special Service Unit, that was under the leadership of Kinoti, and he was saying these people were killing Kenyans and throwing them into River Yala. He said that was going to be buried katika kaburi la sahau, that we would forget that, we would not witness a state that has been militarized. But what is he doing today? I could go on and on, ladies and gentlemen. So when you see people question William Ruto, he himself understands that that is the cardinal rule. Listen to your people, promise that which you can achieve. And William Ruto back then detested an idea of leadership that is built on lies. What about this idea? Because I remember he says that he's only suffering because he's Kipchirchir. This is William Ruto, because he's been asking, did his predecessors suffer the same fate? I mean, internet doesn't lie, and this is your president.
We are telling Mwai Kibaki it will not be long. He will have to quit State House because he did not win.
So that is our president back then telling Mwai Kibaki that he had to go. In other words, Kibaki must go. So was he doing that because Kibaki was a Kikuyu? He did it. And I've seen the broad-based partners champion this narrative that the only reason why, and they try to trivialize this thing, that it is only the Kikuyus who are saying Ruto must go. And they're saying they never did that to Kibaki, neither did they do it to Uhuru Kenyatta. That could be true, but here is William Ruto himself. He was saying Kibaki must go. Number one, he believed Kibaki was not performing. Number two, he believed Kibaki did not win. Now, there are people who simply believe William Ruto did not win, and they also believe that William Ruto is not performing. Is it true that William Ruto is suffering because of his name? No. When Kenyans feel that you're not performing, they have a right to say you must go, except that they wait for the right moment to remove you through democratic, the available democratic processes, which is election or impeachment. I have told you that these videos debunk Ruto's lies, because he has done this to appear a man who is targeted. He wants to win and gain sympathy. I've even seen certain members of the broad-based government, the Luo members of parliament, who go, live on TV, and they want to convince us that William Ruto is suffering because of his name. I mean, how cheap can that be? Or you will have to explain to me then what was happening back then when he said Kibaki must go. This must go did not start today. It was William Ruto who did it. In 2007 and 2008, 2009 there, some of the Gen Zs maybe were very young kids. They are only learning from their masters. Ladies and gentlemen, what about this idea of giving youth decent jobs? When people question William Samoei Ruto, is sending our youths abroad, or sending labor abroad, or giving them things like kazi kwa vijana. I mean, can't you create decent jobs? And Ruto says kazi ni kazi. Back then, during Kibaki era, Ruto questioned why Kibaki was giving our youths some dirty jobs, some small jobs that could not benefit them in any way. This is William Ruto, and you'll see that only a few years down the line, William Ruto was now saying that his serikali, this next government, would be built by Mama Mbogas, and watu wa boda boda, something that he had criticized. This is William Samoei Ruto.
Wakati tulimuuliza Bwana Kibaki, hizi kazi 1400 ni gani? Akasema ati kuna wamama wanauza mboga sokoni na kuna vijana wanafanya kazi bodaboda. Ati hiyo ni kazi imepatikana. Mimi nataka niwaulize, na tunamwambia Bwana Kibaki, kazi ya wamama kuuza mboga ama vijana kwenda na bodaboda, hiyo wanaweza kujifanyia wenyewe. Tunataka serikali itoe nafasi ya kutosha kwa kina mama kufanya biashara, sio biashara ya kuuza mboga.
Mimi ninasema hakuna mtu ambaye ni bora kuliko mwingine, na hii 2022 rais ataamuliwa na mama mboga pamoja na mtu ya bodaboda na ule wa kuuza kiosk pamoja na makanga. Sisi tutaamua rais 2022, wajipange. Ama na kama wako na hiyo wanatuambia wako naye, tumewaambia tuko tayari. Ama ni aje? Watu wa sauti Mugirango tunakubaliana.
If you are a member of the broad-based government, what do you say about those videos? Because I have seen people running with narratives that cannot hold any water. When you are confronted with a situation, be bold enough. This idea of starting, telling us that he's suffering, and I've even seen members of the Kalenjin nation saying that our man is being targeted because that is exactly what the president wants them to believe. It is not true. People target you because you don't listen to them. Like you said the first time you set your foot in a public office, the first time as a young man, a member of parliament of Eldoret North constituency, you said you had to listen to them. So today, if you're not listening to anyone, people have a right to tell you must go. If you promise that you will give people jobs and you're not delivering, they have to ask you. And when people tell you must go, they're not saying because you're a Kalenjin. They would tell Otieno or Kariuki or Wanyama, whoever he is, Mwanasaumu, whatever name, wherever you are coming from, Kenyans don't care. All they want to see is a performer, a man who is as good as his words, not a man who promises one thing. In fact, let me call it the way he call it, politics of deceit. You promise or you say something when you are campaigning, after elections you are another animal altogether. What is the conclusion, ladies and gentlemen? If William Ruto believed that a man who promises something that he cannot deliver is not good, is not fit to hold office, then that is a direct condemnation to a one-term president, because he himself did not believe in a man who says one thing but cannot deliver. So he has given us the green light, either to impeach him or kick him out in 2027 because he's deceitful. Let him give us a break, because the one-term thing never started today. He himself started. Kibaki must leave office sooner than soonest. Let him give us a break. The president himself predicted his fate. He said he would listen to people. He's not listening to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be intimidated when you call out this administration to perform, because William Ruto never spared Mwai Kibaki during his time. He called him out. He told him one time. So do not be intimidated. Let us be very careful about our politicians. Hii mdomo tamu hii ya kuambiwa kitu. I remember there is this scene that still lingers in my mind when William Ruto used to tell the people that we will build an economy that will be looking at the affairs of those who are at the bottom of the pyramid. He was saying that since independence, we have always built an economy that is thinking of the people at the top of the pyramid. And he was telling them to toy hapa chini tuweke juu, yani bottom up. And that slogan was working well. And most youth said, yes, this is the man, a hustler. The church fell into that trap. Today, when the opposition is saying cousins, he feels bad, yet he himself introduced the hustler narrative, and it worked well for him. Ladies and gentlemen, let us be mature in our politics. Let us scrutinize our leaders and find out whether they are truthful, whether they want to run into their tribal cocoons. When people misuse public funds, they benefit their families and a few friends. But when the citizens now catch up with them and are asking questions, they run back to their community. Ni nyinyi, ni nyinyi mnawindwa. This president is for you. Niambia, mtaka kuniambia because William Ruto is the president hakuna wakale wanaumia? Nataka kuniambia kwa sababu John Mbadi pesa inalala Homa Bay, watu wa Homa Bay wanasikia raha? Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, 2027 is here with us. Let us wake up. Let us change this narrative. Let us ensure that when we are presented with a golden opportunity to vote, it is a matter of life and death. We have our destiny in our own hands. If we listen to such cheap lies, then we are headed nowhere. If you are listening to this video, don't ever buy this narrative that William Ruto is being hunted because he's a Kalenjin, because he has done that before. If you're watching this video and you see Gen Z saying William Ruto is not listening to us, he himself had promised it when he first got into office. What do you say about those videos? Because they have debunked all the lies. Let us choose wisely. Let us know that when you choose a leader, you have to live with the consequences for another 5 years. We do not want to elect a leader in 2027, then by 2028 we are saying Achando must go, Matiang'i must go, or let's say Kalonzo must go, or Natembeya must go, or Maraga must go. Let us take our time and ensure that when we vote, we are not going to vote because we are targeting someone. The way I can see some people are going to vote Kasongo because they want to punish Gachagua. I can see some people crying now they voted for Kasongo because they wanted to punish Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila. Choices have got consequences. Let us scrutinize speeches and behavior of our leaders. Let us go back because internet doesn't lie. I don't know what to think, but that is my take.